What's up, guys? Adam here with Anabolic Climbing, and back from Japan. Didn't gain weight. More details on how that happened a little bit later. But at this point, it's been almost 100 days of doing Emil Abramson's hangs, and I have a few thoughts on it. In general, I had a fairly positive experience doing the Abrahangs, and why not? It's scientifically efficacious to make our fingers a little bit stronger over time, while still having multiplicative effects while doing max hangs, which is dope. So fingers feel stronger. I don't feel at this point like I'm going to pull through my fingers with the Anavar, which is great. Have more stamina on the wall. Even when I am super pumped out, I can still grab those last couple holds in my bouldering sessions, which is amazing. And yet, I will not say that the protocol has been flawless. After about 30 days to 45 days doing the hangs twice a day, I had issues doing pull-ups. The stress from doing the hangs twice a day, basically, because of the overdevelopment in my forearms and in my grip, it was pulling down on my bicep tendons, on both biceps. I have a tweaky left bicep. I've been pretty open about that. But even my right side was having issues as well, and I was really concerned. So the first thing I did was I cut down the Abrahangs to once a day instead of twice a day. Things felt a little bit better. I continued to do them in Japan, but as I cut down my training load for the 2 weeks that I was over there, I only trained 3 times in the 2 weeks that I was there, my biceps felt much better. So what is it about the Abrahangs that seemed to put some pretty substantial pressure on the bicep tendons? And I think I have the answer and how you guys can fix it to do the Abrahangs in a way that won't be deleterious to your training. What happens is you're ultimately training your grip daily, twice daily, and you're not taking care of the other positions within the forearms and in the biceps. You're not training your brachialis as frequently, you're not training your pronation or your supination. So what I've been doing is basically doing additional training, doing supination, going outward, pronation, going inward, training the brachialis, going up and down, and basically doing about 3 to 4 sets on each exercise with either kettlebells or free weights twice a week to essentially build more strength and integrity elsewhere in the forearm. And as those muscles get stronger, it takes pressure off of the bicep tendon and it stops my grip from essentially being the overbearing or overdominant muscle. And you see this stuff really in other exercise science. If you have an overdeveloped back, you could have potential injuries in your shoulders or chest because and you'll see it in your posture. The same thing if you have quad or ham dominant legs, it could impact your running performance. So I cannot recommend the Abrahangs for a long period of time unless you are supplementing some of the other training in terms of pronation, supination, and also training your brachialis. I thought that I was going to blame this on the gear. I thought I was going to blame this on the way that I was climbing. But I was having my forearms just locking up to the point where I couldn't even crimp really comfortably. After a couple of sets of training some of the other stuff in the forearms, my forearms can relax, my grip can relax, I'm getting better range of motion. So, Emil, incredible protocol. Really curious to see how it works over the long term. I'm continuing to hang daily until I don't, when I need to do some supplemental training to rest my fingers. I do think that there is merit in taking a day off every now and again. If you took a day off or 2 days off, I think that could potentially be useful. I don't know that it's inherently optimal to train every single day. I will be testing my max hangs as soon as my blood work gets back, and I'll report on that too. But unless you're willing to do some of the supplemental training to round out your forearms, I do think that the Abrahangs could potentially be deleterious to your climbing performance. But 15 minutes twice a week, super easy to fix. And yeah, I'm climbing a grade higher, not entirely because of the Abrahangs, but man, my fingers feel so much better than they have in years, really in the history of my climbing. So, Abrahams, 2 thumbs up, assuming you're doing the additional climbing. Thank you guys for sticking with me while I was gone. Vacation was awesome. Climbing in Japan, I was working on this one problem that I thought was like, US grade gym, V6, V7. They're like, oh, V3. The humility hurts. But super fun climbing out there. Sapporo is awesome. But thanks for sticking around. I will come back to you guys as soon as my blood work comes back. And yeah, this is Adam with Anabolic Climbing. Cheers. Thanks so much, and climb on.